to the Unleash Success Podcast, where we break down the secrets of success to give you real tools and strategies that get real results. And now, here's your host, Corpodian.
And welcome to Unleash Success. This is your host, Corpodian. You know, guys, after last week's episode where we talked about finding purpose out of tragedy, I'd asked that you write down some goals. And recently, a lot of people have been messaging me on Facebook and Instagram talking about how they want to accomplish goals and what exactly it takes. Because sometimes people have the right strategy. You know, they know exactly what to do, but they're still not doing it, and why. And that's why this week, I really want to walk you through a 3-step process that I've used to accomplish my goals. And in fact, I gave this as a presentation at a keynote speech where there was 500 to 700 entrepreneurs all in the stands, and they were all hungry to accomplish their goals. So we walked through these 3 steps, and you can get this, basically a downloaded version of this for a checklist to be able to write down and follow along with it if you'd like at unleashsuccess.com/goals, GOALS. Also, too, in this episode, we're going to talk a lot about emotional fitness. You know, me and my girlfriend just competed in a physical fitness competition. And I'm so proud of her. She brought home 2 gold medals. And you know me, I'm just happy that I placed in the top 5, got a medal myself, and was really excited. But a lot of people ask me, Corey, how did you do it? And I give them the strategy. But sometimes when you give people the strategy, even though they've got the goal, they've got the strategy, something's missing. And that's emotional fitness. And so we're going to talk about that in this episode. But if you'd like to learn more about how to develop the mindset for success, how to train your emotional fitness, you can go to unleashsuccess.com, fill in your email, and get a 10-day emotional fitness challenge. These tools, guys, are all here to help you accomplish more. I'm obsessed with success in every area of life. I want to be successful in business and in relationships. I want to be successful physically, and I want to be so happy. And that's what I've done is combine this into a strategy, into tools, into learning how to use the same strategies and tools in every area of life. And really, it comes down to emotional fitness. You know, it reminds me of when I was interviewing Tom Bilyeu, and we were talking about why people don't take action. You know, they're afraid of failing. They're afraid of not being good enough. And we talked about how, I don't want to be perfect. I just want to get maybe 80% of the way there. And he said to me, you know what? Get 8% of the way there. Just take action, get a result, and then improve upon it. You can check out Tom's episode number 5, where we go into the mindset of how he built the $1 billion company and more. And this is what emotional fitness teaches us. It teaches us to be able to actually put ourselves out there, to get outside of our comfort zone, to turn failures into lessons to get better. And if you want to accomplish your goals, be sure to go to unleashsuccess.com/goals to download that free checklist and get started now. And here we go with the emotional fitness and how to accomplish your goals keynote.
Thank you guys very much for having me. Thank you so much. That was a great introduction. I'm super impressed. First of all, you guys are absolutely killing it. People are crushing it. Comeback years, $5,000, winning a Rolex, promotions. You guys are my type of people. I love success. My entire life, I've been obsessed with what are the secrets of success. And I realized that it's not always easy. There's got to be a recipe. And I started looking at what's the difference between success and failure. And I found that, when I was younger, people used to tell me, Corey, you've got to be focused. You have to have a clear, specific goal. And so I picked a goal. And I thought, that makes sense, right? A GPS system, you put in a destination, and you'll get a path to get there. So I walk on over, and now I'm at my goals, right? Well, it's not that simple. You see, setting a goal is not enough. How many of you guys wanted to be this best salesperson, to have the best office, produce the best numbers? You guys all had the same goals, but yet not everybody accomplished it. Why? Well, when you put in the address to a GPS system, if you say, I just want to go to the United States, you could end up in Miami or Alaska. You've got to be very clear. And when you do it, you also get multiple routes. There's a lot of different ways to get to your goals. Some are faster, some are better. And I thought, well, that makes sense. So all I have to do is set the goal, pick the best strategy. If I have the best strategy, I'm going to win the game. I'm going to be successful. And yet, how many of you guys have read all the sales books, all the entrepreneurial books, everything that's on the internet right now? I mean, if you want somebody to lose some weight, all you got to do is Google, and you'll get hundreds of hours of free training. All it is 5 to 10 pounds. They've got the knowledge, but yet they don't succeed. In fact, they fail. Why? Because knowing the best strategy is not enough. Knowledge alone is not power. You have to take action. In order to get what you want, you've got to take massive action. And I thought, yes, this is exactly what I need. This is the key that I've been looking for to be successful in life. And I'm reminded of my parents, actually, and they took a lot of action. I remember my dad was always starting a new business. I'd work we used to clean offices after work, and I would go after school as a teenager. He started his own business in maybe 98, 99. And if you guys know anything about business, a lot of you do, 50% of businesses fail within the first year. Well, he made it past the first year, but 80% fail within the first 5 years. And we didn't make it. He ended up having to declare bankruptcy, and we had to look for a job just to survive, just to put food on the table. We ended up moving to Bloomington, Indiana, which I'd never been there in my life, and they had the worst snowstorm. I was from California or Florida. I moved around a whole bunch, and that year I went to 4 different high schools. And I said, gosh, it's taking a lot of action, and then you fail. What do? But my parents, they recuperated. And in 2004, 2005, they started selling real estate, and they started investing. They started taking massive action. And all of a sudden, they were winning the game. They were successful again. But if any of you were around Las Vegas in 2006 to 2008, the market collapsed. All their eggs were in one basket, and they lost everything. We were bankrupt again. I learned a very valuable life lesson that day. My parents are still alive, but being successful is difficult, and you're going to fail. Our brains are designed to make us survive. Human beings will survive. My parents are still alive. They didn't die. But do they have the level of success that they want? And that's when I started to discover the last key to success, really. And I didn't truly understand its power until I finished my residency. I came back, and Larry talks about how much money I could make after being an orthodontist and board certified. I've got all these certifications. I wish it was all that easy, but the truth was I started working, and I was struggling. I couldn't find a job for the first 4 months. I ended up finding one in San Diego. I was commuting 3 hours a day, Monday through Friday. Saturdays and Sundays I spent because I thought, I'll just open up my own business. I probably put $100,000 into it that first year, and I failed. I left it. I failed miserably. And to handle that failure, I ended up going to the gym, and that really made me excited. But it was more of a distraction than anything else, but it made me happy. I started competing. He saw it. It was amazing. I put my mind to it. I applied all these tools that I had for success, and I became successful, winning some competitions for men's physique, going to nationals. And then I go to the doctor for a routine checkup. And he sees this mole, no bigger than my pinky nail. Later, I'd find out I have skin cancer. I'm 28 years old. And I'm like, no big deal. He said, no, you need to get this done as soon as possible. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm competing. I can't just do this right now. I can't just have surgery. It's going to take me out of the gym. And he said, if you wait 6 months, you'll lose half your chest. A year or two, it would have been deadly. Man, and that shook me. I'm reminded of the phrase memento mori. Remember that one day you will die. It's funny, when you face death, and even though I wasn't going to die, but it felt so real for a second because I hadn't been to the doctor in years. If I had waited 2 years, who would have known what happened? You start to look at your successes. You start to look at your failures. And that's when I discovered Being successful is not about having the best strategy and taking a lot of action. Yes, you do have to do that. You have to put in the work. But what do you do when you fail? They talk about fall down 7 times, get up 8. Someone said 100 times. Mike Tyson says it best. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. So true. Life is one tough son of a bitch, and it will punch you in the face more times than you can count. Do you have the resiliency? Do you have the ability not just to be strong, but to be resistant? And I found what the difference was between success and failure. You have to have a goal. You have to take action. Ideally, you have the best strategy. But emotional fitness, your ability to, on the path to success, when you are on that route, you've chosen the best strategy on your GPS system, and then there's an obstacle, there's an accident, something derails you. Do you have the ability to handle that failure and keep pushing forward? You see, emotions fuel every single goal we've ever had. We think that they're going to give us a feeling of security, a feeling of success, importance, happiness. We're going to be able to travel and enjoy our life. Or maybe it's because you want to actually do something so you don't feel a negative emotion. You don't want to feel regret that you didn't do it. You don't want to disappoint yourself or your family or friends. Emotions control how we respond. The question is, are you in control of your emotions or do they control you? I've found that as much as life puts you down, if you lost everything in life, but you were emotionally fit, you would not only survive, you would succeed. We're designed to survive, but I want success. I've been pushing my entire life to be successful, and that's when I found emotional fitness. What exactly is emotional fitness? People talk a little bit about a mindset. Well, in order to understand emotional fitness, you got to understand the way we experience our world. Our world is divided into 2 different areas. The external world, which is everything that happens outside of us. The environment, events, the people around us. Some of you guys are managers, you might think, hey, I can control people. No, you can influence people. You can tell them what to do, but ultimately they have the decision to do it or quit. Truly, the only place we can control is the internal world. Everything in our minds. We have the ability to choose what to focus on, what meaning we give life, and what action we end up taking. Now the question is, do you react or do you act with purpose? And every time you experience something, positive or negative, you go through these 3 things. You decide what to focus on, what things mean, and what actions you take. Now, why is action important? Because on the road to success, I wish it was just a straight line where I walked and finally, I made it. I am finally successful. This is it, right? That's what everybody does. They just walk straight. Wrong. A lot of times, success looks like that. You get lost in this shit of just stoppage, right? Where you go 7 steps forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 5 steps back, and you're sitting there wondering what is going on. And all of a sudden, 3 years go by, and you go wake up and you say, how am I still in the same position I was 3 years ago? What happened to me? And that's because there are 2 primary emotions that drive our actions when we're setting goals. This is when we're setting goals, or we're on our path to achieving goals. We either take action or distraction. Now, distraction could be something simple, like, I'm going to go out and have a party. I'm going to go to a friend's dinner. I'm going to scroll through social media or watch Netflix. For crying out loud, Netflix now has binge-worthy categories. You can literally waste your entire weekend watching a television show distracted from your goals. Now, I'm not saying you got to give that stuff up. All right, I still watch Netflix. But what I am saying is if you're not where you want to be in life, if you're not accomplishing the goals that you've set out for yourself, you've got to choose action, not distraction. You have to choose to take action. Some people think that distraction is not a choice. I get distracted by what's urgent or what's important or what I have to do right now. No, if you're not focused, you're choosing distraction. And the 2 emotions that drive this are fear and faith. Now, I know a lot of you guys are high achievers, and I appreciate that. And you say, I'm not afraid of anything. But we use softeners for fear. We say, I'm uncomfortable with that. I'm not sure if that's really going to work, Corey. I don't know about that. Or I don't think I can do it. And then, there's faith. And some people are like, what do you believe in? But God or yourself, whatever it is you believe in, you might say something to yourself like, I think I can do that. Yeah. Or maybe you say, I'm going to do that. Or I will do that. I believe I can do that. I know I can do that. It's a lot different, right? As you drive through these, as you're going around this loop, it just pulls you. So who wants to make $1 million next year? Oh, yeah. Why are not all the hands up right now? Come on. Okay. Yes. So what happens when you set that goal? Well, if you've never made $1 million before, that's a lot of money. You might say, okay, here I am. I've got faith that I can do it. Yeah, I can do this. And I'm going around and I'm going to make that $1 million. All of a sudden, fear, your head goes, what are you talking about? You can't make $1 million. You don't know what you're doing. And you're sitting there going, oh, yeah, what am I doing? I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And how am I going to, what's the strategy? What's the best way to make $1 million? And all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Wait. Someone in this room makes $1 million. Maybe they have that strategy I need. Maybe they can tell me what to do. And so all of a sudden you're going back over and you're like, yeah, I got this. I'm going to take some action. And then you're like, wait. People get scared. They're like, what if they think I'm stupid because I don't know how to make the money? What if they think I should know this? And they put me down and people get scared. And all of a sudden, before they know it, they're on their couch watching Netflix, cracking a beer, going, oh, what happened to my goals? That is why emotional fitness is so important. We have got to train our minds just like you train yourself in the gym. Just like you train for your job. If you don't train yourself, do you get better or worse? Worse. If I go to the gym one time for 6 hours, am I fit for life? No. Got to go every day. Got to train your mind every day. In fact, if you don't train your mind, it grows weak. So how do we do this? Well, there's 3 areas we can train. We can train what we focus on. We can train what things mean to us. And then finally, what action we take. This is the road to our decision to act. All right, how many of you have ever made a mistake in life? Be honest. Okay, thank you. Come on, we've all made mistakes. The question is, you make a really big mistake at work. It costs you this huge deal. Do you focus on everything you did right up until that point? Or do you focus only on what you did wrong? What you did wrong? Oh, man. That's fine. As long as it depends on what kind of meaning you give things to yourself. See, I try to focus on what I did right because I can only build on my success. I learn from my failures, and that's actually the meaning that I give. But some people say, you know what, if I failed, that means I'm a failure. If I make that mistake again, I'm a failure. And other people say, you know what, failing, no big deal. Everybody makes mistakes. That's part of the pathway to success. But the question is, depending on the meaning you give things, your reaction or action that you take, are you paralyzed by fear? And now you don't take any action? Or do you step forward? Do you make a decision? Do you take action and make mistakes no matter what because you're focused on the result? So these are the 3 questions. What are you focusing on? What do things mean to you? And what reaction or action did you take? I know what you're thinking. How do I just ask those 3 questions when I respond? Sometimes I just get angry. I yell at somebody. I don't know what happened. My sales are down. They suck. They made a mistake. I responded. What you're really asking is, what map is that road to decision on? And that map is a map of your beliefs. See, we all have beliefs about life. Some people believe that life is a game, that games are fun. And as long as I'm having fun, whether I fail or succeed, doesn't matter. I'm having a good time. My guess is not a lot of you believe that. I believe games are fun too, only if I'm winning. And I want to win that game of success, and I want to be the most successful person in the room. If I get second place, is that good? Not to me. I want first. But some people get second place, and they believe, you know what? I just wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough to do it, so I'm not even going to try again. I'm done. I failed. I was super lucky. My parents, I don't know how they did this. It was totally by accident, probably. But when I was growing up, they always told me, Corey, you can be anything you want to be. You can achieve anything you want as long as you're willing to work hard enough. I tell you, that belief has allowed me to get incredible results. And if you want to get better results, you've got to raise the bar. BAR, an acronym. Results, action, beliefs. You see, the results we get are directly correlated to the amount of action we take. But how much action you take is based on what you believe you are even capable of. And I know what you're thinking. Can beliefs really change? I mean, I believe I'm not good enough to do it. I'm not good enough to make that $1 million. Or do you believe I'll do whatever it takes? I'll take as much action to get the result that I want, no matter how long it takes me. I've been working at this stuff for, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So long, it is my lifelong mission. But do you think beliefs can change? How many of you believed in Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy or the Easter Bunny? Any of them? Come on, guys. We all did. Until some second grade bully came over and said, you think some jolly fat man in a red coat can squeeze through your chimney? You're crazy. Go ask your parents. I dare you. And so you go to mom and dad. Mom, dad, is Santa Claus real? And they go, of course they did. Well, Billy said that he's not. And then they go, I'm so sorry, son. It's time we told you something. And your world's crushed. And then you don't even know if you can believe your parents. That's a whole nother story. So this is our road to decisions. We see how beliefs can affect the actions that we take. But what if our actions, what if our physiology could actually affect how we focus on our goals and actually how much we accomplish? What if the way I walk, the way I hold myself, can actually affect how I accomplish my goals? How many of you would like to be more confident, less stressed, more resourceful, and more focused on your goals right now? Yes? Yeah, come on. I want to make $1 million next year. There we go. There's a study done about power posing. It's done by Harvard psychologist Amy Cuddy. And it is the idea of standing with your hips or your hands on your hips, shoulders back, chest out, eyes up, chin up. And as you power pose, they found that participants got an increase in testosterone by 25%, a decrease in the stress hormone cortisol by 20%, and were more likely to focus on their goals by 33%. How long did they have to do this? Ridiculous move. 2 minutes. Somebody knows this. I love it. In just 2 minutes a day, they were able to accomplish this. Now, in order to understand the real power of power posing, that's interesting, power of power posing, we have to feel what it's like to be down. You guys are kind of, maybe you're in a bored state or something. I don't know how this talk's going for you. It's going well for me. Thank you. I want you to imagine someone who is sad or maybe even downright depressed. Imagine what they look like. What do they look like? Their shoulders are slumped, head down, I'm kind of walking slow, looking down at the ground. I want you guys to actually try this right now in your chair. Just imagine, someone depressed. Think about something bad that happened or, what's going on. Just feel it. Really lower your head, shoulders down. All right, you guys feel that? You kind of feel, that feeling feels really, And now what I want you to do is I actually want you to stand up on the count of 3 and jump into this power pose so you can feel the power of it. All right. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, stand up. Oh, wow. Hands on the hips, shoulders back, chest out, eyes up, chin up. Ooh. I don't know if you guys can feel it, but I feel the shift in the energy in this room. I can feel the confidence beaming off of you. Do you guys feel that stress start to disappear? Yeah. And just 2 minutes a day of this can help you accomplish your goals. If you ask yourself 3 empowering questions, what am I focusing on? to empower myself? What actions am I going to take? And what does this mean so I stay motivated? If you stood like this every time you walk through a doorway, you guys can stay standing. I'm feeling good with this. You go for it. If you stood like this every time, go ahead, sit down. Every time you walk through a doorway, into a meeting, into a sales pitch, how would you feel and how do you think people would perceive you? Quite different. I encourage you guys to actually try this. I encourage you to challenge yourself to be emotionally fit. Because in life, what you give, you get to keep. What you fail to give, you lose forever. So take action, practice your emotional fitness, because when life punches you in the face, when there's a roadblock or a detour on your path to success, what are you going to do? Are you going to give up, or are you going to step up, become emotionally fit, and actually achieve your goals? Make that $1 million next year. So that's it, guys. Take action and get ready to unleash success in you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
If you guys enjoyed the show and learned something of value, the one ask that we have is please go subscribe. If you'd like to leave us a 5-star rating and review, that definitely helps us get our message out there. Because each week I'm going to interview amazing people, and I want to be able to give you more and more tools and strategies that get you real results. Feel free to connect with me on Facebook or Instagram at Corpodian, or just visit the website at unleashsuccess.com. Remember, knowing is not enough. Knowledge alone is not power. Action is. Because action is the only way to get the results you want in life and truly live the life of your dreams. So go take some action. Subscribe to the podcast and get ready to unleash success in you.